Good morning, lower school. We are on week 5, so we're having a look to start this lesson at this lovely picture. Now, what you can't see from there is that actually this is a painting that has clearly been painted with watercolours, and it's a beautiful picture that the author wanted to include. And I think we're going to use this as our basis for this week's focus. And what's really nice is this week's focus is on similes, which is about comparison. So, a simile is a figure of speech that makes a comparison showing similarities between two different things. Let's take a look at some of the things we need to look out for. So, similes are different to metaphors because similes involve the word like or as. So, some examples I've come up with. Let's have a look at the like first. She swims like a fish. Peter laughs like a hyena. The world is like a stage. And then some examples for as. He's as hairy as a gorilla. It is as easy as ABC. And Mr. A is as wise as an owl, and I certainly am. So, I was having a look at some, and I was thinking of some examples we could look at. And here's a nice one. It shone as bright as the sun. What I want you to do is pause the video and think about what words give it away that it's a simile. Did you find it? Well done if you did. It was as. And we're comparing something, which is it for this example, to the sun. It could be a light, it could be something that is reflecting. Let's take a look at something else. The bike was as old as my granddad's shoes. Can you see what's being compared? There's two things here. One is the bike being compared to my granddad's shoes. But how is it being compared? Well, we're saying the bike was as old as my granddad's shoes. So we're comparing the two things, which makes it a simile. Let's look at our final example on here then. The stairs twisted up like a snake round a branch. What two things are being compared here? Pause and try and see if you can guess before I explain. Did you find it? We have the stairs being compared to a snake. And how's it being compared? Well, we're saying that the stairs twisted up like a snake round a branch. And it's that word like again that shows us that it's a simile. So how do we, or how can we, create some sentences that involve similes about our fantastic picture here? Well, I've come up with some. Fairy lights hung like floating candles, and the smell of freshly cut grass drifted seamlessly to her nose. Can you find out what's being compared? Did you see it? It was fairy lights being compared to floating candles. And what word gave it away? The word like. Let's look at another one. The river, can you see it here? The river weaved through the trees like a needle and thread through material. Well, we know that the river is being compared to a needle and thread through material. And it's about it weaving. And it's the word that gives it away is like again. And let's have a look at our final example. Here we go. So, trees stood like army soldiers, and the leaves covered the sky like a blanket. Did you spot them? We're talking about the trees, and they're being compared to army soldiers. Because we know that army soldiers stand upright and tall, the trees, which we can see here, are being compared to them. And the word that gives that away is like again. And here we've got, and the leaves covered the sky like a blanket. The leaves is one of the things being compared to a blanket. And the leaves are covering the sky, so it means that it's stopping the sky from getting in, just the same way as a blanket stops the cold from getting in. What word gives it away? Like again. There are so many fantastic different similes we can create using this picture, and I cannot wait to see all the fantastic similes you come up with. Why not post them on Purple Mash and the teachers shall look? I can't wait to read them myself, and I shall see you next week for our next instalment on English lessons.